Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Sonder Social. I'm Malika. I will be leading you through your social tonight. I'm super excited to have you all here. It's been a while since I've hosted. I feel like it seems like it's been a minute. So I'm excited to be with you all today. Make sure to set your chat to everyone. Sometimes Zoom auto defaults us to only chat with me and Jennifer, who are the hosts for this evening. So make sure to double check that your chat is set to everyone. It's wonderful. I do see a bunch of familiar names, but if you are new to a Sonder Social, go ahead and shout yourselves out in the chat. Just say, I'm new. And we are welcoming you all if you are new, and welcome back to everyone who is returning. Um, as I mentioned, Jennifer K is on the webinar with me, and she is giving you a big hello. And she will be answering any questions you might have that arise during this social. But for the most part, it'll just be me talking. And I'm really excited for the social. It's going to be a good one. All right, let's go ahead and get started. And just a reminder, here are some guidelines for this evening. Remember to be kind and courteous to yourself and others. No promotion or spam. Respect everyone's privacy. No hate speech or bullying. Limit any repetitive product and accessory questions. And customer care inquiries can go to our team at hello@siliconsonder.com. And just remember, Sonder socials are a way for us to get the most out of our journal and really connect with each other and with ourselves, and get the most out of kind of the journaling activities that are here. And I love this theme. I'm excited to kind of dive in together. So first, we're going to talk about this month's theme, which is opportunity. So I always love to kind of turn to page 2 of the journal and kind of reread the letter. And one of my favorite ways to think about opportunity was in kind of in the beginning of the letter, where it says, opportunity is one of the few things that can arise from challenges and wins alike. When one door closes, another is bound to open. When one approaches the pinnacle, new views surface. Opportunities are plentiful around all areas of our lives every single day if we just make it a point to notice them. And I think that's a really good and insightful way to think about opportunity. I think oftentimes we feel like maybe we're in a rut and we think that, maybe there's not as much opportunity around us. But in reality, there's opportunities all around us. And it's just a point of noticing those opportunities and grabbing the ones that you want to grab. But keep that all in mind. We will now move on to the agenda. So for this evening, we'll start out with a really exciting opening activity. Then we'll move into the Wheel of Life, and then we will do the My Favorite section. So that is kind of how we'll lead through our night. And I'm really excited to talk about our opening activity. Okay, so for this opening activity, we're going to envision kind of a weather forecast, and we're going to set it at a future date. So I know plenty of us turn to, I don't know if you're always on your phone like I am, but I always check the weather on my phone, and I check the weather app and I see, okay, what do I wear? I live in San Francisco, so you just never know what the weather is going to be. And it's always windy, so I'm always wearing a little jacket. But with that being said, you just think about kind of that weather app and think about, okay, a date in the future. You're going to set it for a specific date. And in that, when you're crafting your kind of forecast, think about kind of your future. What will you be doing on that day? Where will you be? What city will you be in? What will you be doing? think about kind of what weather you want to experience that day. Is it going to be stormy? Is it going to be sunny? Is it going to be cool breeze, windy, foggy? Think about kind of what that weather is for you. Your forecast. What steps do you need to take to create the weather you desire for your future? So think about kind of the actions that will influence that outcome. How will you embrace uncertainty? Obviously, weather forecasts are unpredictable. How can you embrace the uncertainty of the future and remain flexible? And then reflect on the present. How can your current actions and choices impact your future forecast? What can you do to shape your desired outcome? Okay, so that's a lot of prompts. There's a lot there's a lot of different directions you could take this. I can give you my example here. So I did my best at creating a little weather app, screen grab, but made it, a little bit more detailed in terms of the forecast. And let me just turn to it so I have it in front of me in my journal. Here we go. And I basically listed out, I thought about each of these questions and thought about, what would kind of how do I want to feel on that day? I chose June 1st, 2025. That is like a couple weeks before my 30th birthday. And I kind of rewrote how I want to feel and kind of my forecast based on my kind of intentions and goals that I had for that day. So I wrote calm and steady skies, a deep sense of inner peace, grounded in self security and clarity, navigating life storms with ease. Personal challenges arise, but self care and resilience guide the way. Sunny outlook ahead. I'm open to love, happiness, and fulfillment with opportunities on the horizon. No scarcity in sight. Abundance flows freely, influencing my decisions and mindset. Opportunities everywhere. Hard work and determination lead to new possibilities in a thriving environment. And a bright future forecast. Excitement builds as 30 approaches with life being shaped on my terms. So that's how I predicted my weather forecast for this opening activity. So I encourage you to either turn to a blank page for this activity or on a scratch paper and kind of think about what that weather forecast is for you. And I'll give you some time to work on your weather forecasts for your future date. All right. Thank you all for spending time creating your forecast. I know this was kind of a lengthy activity, so if you didn't finish it, that's completely fine. You can kind of turn back to it. But this is a really great way to kind of set our intentions for kind of our future date. Maybe it's a milestone, maybe it's your birthday, whatever it may be. So thank you all for kind of taking that time to really thinking about kind of what your intentions are for that time. All right, we will now move on to the Wheel of Life, which is on page 7. So everyone turn to page 7 of your journal. I'll go ahead and turn to page 7 as well. And you'll see a Wheel of Life. And I love a good Wheel of Life. I feel like sometimes we just need a little check-in with ourselves in these different categories to get a sense of where we need a little bit more kind of attention. Where are we feeling like we're thriving? Where are we feeling like we're, really not? So thinking about kind of what that is for you in each of these areas. And just remember, if you want to kind of swap out a category, maybe it doesn't pertain to you, maybe you want to kind of change it up a little bit, you're welcome to kind of swap it out. Brenda mentioned, yes, the last Wheel of Life was in July. So it's been a few months since July. So thinking about kind of from July to now, it's been, a few months. So kind of thinking about where we are in our current moment. And basically, the instructions are really to rank kind of where you fall in these areas from a 1 to 10 scale. And think about how fulfilled you feel. And I will show some examples of some Wheel of Lives. I really like the different ways people take this. Most of the times I do kind of like that dot chart, similar to the one in the middle, but I've been really inclined to this month I really was inclined to switch it up. I really like these other ways that people have taken it. So filling it in with different colors, different patterns. I really like this option of writing in the wheel. It makes it feel like it's a part of the wheel. Maybe that could work for you. And then color coding it. I see this happening on a lot of different wheels of life. And I think it's like a fun way to kind of keep it a part of the chart. So instead of focusing on just one way you can increase one of those levels for these sections, you're doing it kind of for all of them. And you're kind of creating some action items for each of those areas. So those are some great ways to kind of take this. I also, Jennifer mentioned that another way you can do this is, say you feel like you're really low in one of these categories and you really want to kind of focus some more attention to that category and making sure that feels a little bit higher. Thinking about kind of an action item that would help with boosting that and putting that into your monthly habit tracker or even your weekly habit tracker, to make it kind of top of mind so that you feel like you're making some progress in that area of your life. So for me, I think my lows right now would probably be, I would say my uh, personal growth is on the higher side, but my career is a little bit kind of all over the place. And just in terms of kind of the like interviewing, it's just been a lot of back and forth. And then I would say my other category that's kind of low is probably my romance. It's just been a tough dating market, so that's been on the back burner while I figure out my other stuff. So I feel like those would be kind of like my two lowest. But I really like this kind of like action item. I really want to take that idea of putting it into my habit tracker to see how I can kind of boost those areas. Um, so those are some great examples. I'll give you all some time to work on your wheel of life. And if you have any questions, pop in the chat. I'm happy to answer any questions that come to mind, but really take this in any direction. Feel the kind of feel like you can make it however you want to. So you don't have to kind of take these examples and kind of replicate it. It's really up to you how you want to set up your wheel of life. So I'll give you all some time to work on it and then I'll check in a little bit. All right. Thank you all for kind of taking the time to fill out your wheel of life. It is sometimes really difficult to do, to take that time and really think about kind of how we're feeling for each of these kind of areas. I just want to pop in. I really love kind of the swaps that people are making. And I totally understand if you're feeling like, hey, maybe this is just not the right time to do this activity because you're feeling like they're a little bit lower than you anticipated, or maybe in terms of like your action items you want to kind of come back to. But it's really important to kind of remember that life is about ebbs and flows, and sometimes a category is doing exceedingly well and sometimes they're not. Maybe something you're dealing with unexpectedly is leading to a lot of kind of low scores in other areas, and it is part of life and that's okay. Or maybe things are going really well for you and things are just feeling like really you feel really fulfilled in a lot of different areas. So there are many times in our life where things may feel a little imbalanced, but I think this is a good exercise to do, to kind of get a sense of where to focus that attention, where we need to follow kind of some, have some more attention towards so that we can feel like we're boosted in those areas. All right. I will now transition us to the next activity, which is the my favorite section. So go ahead and turn to my favorites. It's on page 19. So right next to that little koala, I think, is the my favorite section. Um, and I love these my favorite section. It really is reminiscent of kind of my kindergarten experience where we used to write our favorite things for random categories. And I feel like every time we have one of these pages in the journal, it reminds me of kind of my younger self filling this out. And it's so fun. And here are some examples of people who have filled it out already this month that I posted in the Sonder Club. I really love how fun this one is. It's so colorful. There's so many little kind of doodles everywhere. Oh my gosh, it's Kimberly's. Kimberly, thank you for sharing. It is so beautiful. And I really liked how Kimberly kind of took some of the categories and also decided to change them to feel like it best, served her. There were some, my biggest fear, my biggest regret, and she kind of changed that. So thank you all. Thank you for sharing that. And I love how colorful it is. It really is so fun. And then I like this one as well. This is really kind of, I like how they colored the borders. It's fun to kind of incorporate color and creativity in these sections. Here are a bunch of different examples for kind of your favorites. Um, of course, take this like as as suggestions, whatever helps inspire you, figure out what your favorite is, but it obviously doesn't have to be. I'm assuming one of these seasons it'll be one of these seasons, but the rest, they're very much kind of just to help you start thinking. So I'll kind of walk you through. So favorite seasons, pretty straightforward. And then maybe you can even write a why, your favorite holiday, where are your favorite places to visit? Maybe there's a place you've been wanting to go to. So maybe it's not a place you've been to, but a place you want to go. You can obviously change it. A biggest accomplishment, think back about maybe your career or your life and think about kind of what your biggest accomplishment has been so far. Your biggest fear, maybe thinking about kind of what your fear is. Maybe it's missing out on opportunities. Maybe it's, missing out on kind of something that is really important to you, whatever it may be. And then also, here are some biggest regrets. So thinking about kind of what is, important to you, what's something that's happened that you wish you had the chance to go back and change, your proudest moment, your what you're motivated by, what your inspiration is, and your dream job. So really think about kind of what that is for you. And you can, of course, swap it out, like Kimberly did, and change out those two negative, my favorites, and swap it out for something a little bit more positive. So I'll give you all some time to fill out your my favorite section, and then we will connect in a little bit. Sorry, just some slide switching going on. But thank you all so much for kind of sharing your favorites in the chat and also working on this activity. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was like a fun little way to end this social. I am sad to say that this hour just flies by, and we're already at the end of our social. So thank you all so much for spending this hour with me. If you didn't get a chance to finish kind of the opening activity or the Wheel of Life, you're welcome to stay on and keep journaling after the social's over. I will be sharing kind of my playlist with you all. So let me go ahead and drop that in the chat. And in addition to kind of sharing the playlist, I wanted to kind of encourage you to share your pages with us. Definitely share that opening activity. I would love to see your weather surveys, your weather forecasts, and your Wheel of Life. So be sure to share that in Sonder Club. We have the referral program going on. So if you have a friend that would love Silk and Sonder, go ahead and take advantage of that program. If you're not on the annual subscription already, make sure to check that out. It could be a lot cheaper in the long run, and you get exclusive perks. And then also make sure to fill out our feedback survey. These community events are to serve you. So tell us what you want to see more of, what you want to see less of. And Jennifer already popped in the YouTube link in the chat. So thank you all so much for spending this hour with me. I had a great time, and I will hopefully see you at my next social. So have a great rest of your week, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Sometimes it hits like a car crash, and it's too late to reverse. Sometimes you make me a better person. Sometimes you bring